Did you know the average American spends 1,000 hours a year on shopping alone? That's like working a full-time job just to buy stuff. Today, we're breaking down budgeting at 5 completely different levels, from kids to seniors. And by the end, you'll see how every dollar you earn is part of a much bigger game. Let's start at the beginning, with a lemonade stand. That's where it all starts for most of us. When you make lemonade, you have to decide how much to charge, how many cups you can sell, and how much money you want to save. It's like a game. If you price it too high, no one buys it. Too low, and you barely make a profit. Now imagine if the whole school was a country. Some kids have more money, some have less. Prices go up and down based on what people want. But in the real world, this gets a lot more interesting. Let's move up a level. Now we're talking to teenagers. Maybe you've had your first job or are saving up for something big. You start to realize that prices aren't random. They're based on supply and demand, and how much people are willing to pay. Did you know that every $100 you spend generates about $20 in tax revenue? That's how governments fund schools, roads, and hospitals. And here's a surprising fact. Only 5% of people track their spending regularly. That means most people don't even know where their money goes. Now let's see the machinery behind all of this. How budgeting shapes the world around you. Now we're talking to high schoolers, the ones starting to think about college, careers, and how the world works. Budgeting isn't just about your money, it's about the economy. And the economy is shaped by people like Adam Smith and John Maynard Keynes. In the 1930s, the Great Depression showed how a lack of budgeting at the national level can bring entire economies to a standstill. Today, countries like China and the US use different budgeting strategies, one focused on growth, the other on stability. But theory is one thing. Let's see how it plays out in real life. Now we're talking to adults, people managing their own money, paying bills, and planning for the future. The average U.S. household spends $48,000 a year on goods and services. That's a lot of money, and it's not always easy to track. Companies also budget, but they have to consider things like market trends, competition, and global events. For example, when the pandemic hit, companies had to rethink their budgets overnight. Some survived, others didn't. And finally, the lesson that only decades of experience can teach. Budgeting is about control, not just money. Now we're talking to seniors, people who've seen decades of economic change and have lived through it all. Budgeting has shaped the world in big ways, from the gold standard to the digital age. And it's always been about one thing: value. In the 1970s, inflation hit 13%. Today, it's under 3%. That's a big difference, and it shows how budgeting has evolved. What history teaches us is that people always want to save, spend, and invest, but the rules keep changing. And what current trends mean for the future? That's the big question, and it starts with how we budget today. Let's go back to the beginning, the lemonade stand. That simple idea is the same one that powers the global economy. Which level changed how you think about money? Let us know in the comments. And remember, every dollar you spend is part of a bigger story.